Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome back to my office. Well, I want to talk about something that, again, it's something that you don't have to do, but if you want to be a better photographer, this is something that you should really consider doing all the time. And that is, don't put off taking a picture until another time, because you don't know if that other time will ever happen or not. Now, what do I mean? So you're out, you're taking pictures, you're driving along, and you see a beautiful scene, but it's going to mean that you have to grab your bag and get a camera put in it and go for a little hike over there you get the idea. Don't put it off. I constantly hear from customers about how many pictures they missed because they were rushing or because they just didn't take the time to go and take the pictures. And sometimes things with light, things with just the way the clouds are, sometimes with the way the trees are or the plants are, sometimes the animals. You just don't see that again. Another example is I went to Waterton a number of years ago, and I got there early in the year to take some pictures of the sheep. Now, sheep are beautiful towards the end of winter, as long as it's not a really harsh winter, and their coats look really good. And then they start going into a molt where the coats start looking horrible. Well, I went down there, I took some pictures and everything, and I talked to one of my friends, and I said, oh, you should go down there. They're right here. They're easy to get to, and they look great. It wasn't a hard winter. They all look great, and you should do that. Yeah, I really should. Well, 2.5 months later, they went down to take pictures, and they contacted me and said, they look horrible. They're molting. They just don't look good. It looks like they're sweating. They're panting. It's just, it's the middle of summer. It's hot now, and they just don't look their best. Likewise with moose and deer and elk with their antlers. I don't know how many times people have asked me, when's the best time to take pictures of, and I'll tell them. And then they'll go down there on the exact opposite time that I tell them, and they'll go, well, they didn't have any horns. They had molted. This had happened. That had happened. Yeah, don't put off what you can shoot today because you may not get it tomorrow. Another example. I'm on my way home the other day from a trip, driving along a road that I've traveled I don't know how many times, and there's a barn on this road. And I looked at the barn, and it just looked just about right, but it meant I had to take about a 2-minute detour. And I thought, well, maybe I will. So pulled off the road, went and took the 2-minute detour, pulled up to take the picture of the barn and looked at it and went, yeah, it's just about right. Got my camera out, waited maybe 4 minutes, 5 minutes, took the picture. Now, I've passed this barn dozens of times, and it's an old barn. I don't know how much longer it's going to be standing. It's in a farmstead, a homestead area where it's getting more and more garbage around it and stuff. I don't know how much longer you're going to be able to see the barn clearly. And a lot of times when I pass it, the light just isn't right because it's during the worst part of the day to take pictures. This was perfect. Absolutely perfect to take it. Now, I may not go by that barn for 6 months or a year. That barn, it's been abandoned for years, may not be there next time. So make sure you take the time to take the pictures that you can take when you can take them. Don't put it off. Now, I hear from people constantly, and it's like, well, what happens if you're hungry? Well, what happens if you're tired? What happens if you... Few things that I've said on this channel before, and I'll say it again. First of all, pack food, pack water. I'm having to pack even more water because I always find that I run out of water so quickly. So I carry a lot of water with me. Now, it helps that I have a van that I camperized, that I can carry a ton of water in it. It has a fridge in it and everything, but I carry it in my other vehicle too. Carry lots of water. Carry snacks. Carry healthy snacks. You don't need to carry a full meal, but carry snacks. If you do want to carry a meal, so a couple things that I've started is, first of all, when I have the big van, I have a whole kitchen with me. Problem is that when I have a whole kitchen with me, I'm not going to take time in the morning before I go out and take pictures to make a meal. So I carry a thermos with me that I can fill up with stuff at lunchtime so I can eat it at supper time so I can eat it later on, or at breakfast I'll make it so I don't have to stop at lunch, whatever. take a thermos, put some food in it. Take food that you can eat cold. Things like nuts, raisins, crackers. Take some cheese that you can throw into a cooler, or even a thermos that has a cooler part to it, and put some cheese in it. There's so much that you can take so you don't have to rush. Take changes of clothes. This is another big one. I've had photographers come out to my classes, will be taking pictures, and somebody will slip and get all wet and cold, and I have to leave. I don't have clothes. Well, where we are a lot of times is 2, 3, 4 hour drive. It's a long way to drive when you're freezing cold. It's even worse, though, if you're planning to spend the night in your vehicle or something and you only have one pair of clothes. Or if you have to spend the night in your vehicle and you only have one pair of clothes and they're wet. So carry extra clothes. One thing that I really like to carry, absolutely love to carry, is extra footwear. Because after a day of walking around in mud and dirt and water, wet grass, whatever, your feet can get damp, wet, cold. And it's so nice to be able to pull on dry socks and warm footwear, and it just makes you feel so much better. So carry that. Other thing, and I know this may not seem like the most glamorous or glorious thing, but if you have a vehicle like an SUV where the seats fold down, throw a sleeping bag and a pillow in the back of it, so that if you are somewheres and the light is just about right and you just don't want to make that drive home at night, that you can just climb in the back and have a sleep. It really works well. I've done it many times. Well, with the van, I do it constantly because I have a whole bed in it. But climb in the back and sleep. If you're shooting a sunset and you don't want to have to go drive home, if it's an hour or 2 hour drive home, climb in the back, have a sleep. Or if you want to be somewheres early in the morning, go there the night before. Climb in the back of your vehicle, have a sleep. Get up early enough, you don't need the drive. I do that constantly when I'm going to photograph animals in the spring and in the fall. And I'll go to some place, I'll get there the night before, have a sleep there. That way I get up in the morning, I can get up at 5:30 a.m., have something quick to eat, and head out shooting. By the time I'm done shooting around 10 or so in the morning, I have something big to eat. Then I'll have a nap in the afternoon. Then I'll either drive home or I'll shoot that evening. So do that. One thing to consider, though, and this is something that I tell people all the time as well. If you're possibly going to spend the night somewhere, if you may not make it home that day, make sure that you carry any medication with you that you need. I have medication that I have to take every day. I make sure that when I leave the house or the office, that I throw a container of it in my backpack or a couple days worth in my backpack so that it's with my camera gear and I have it with me. Just to be safe, just to make sure that you got everything. So until next time, get out there, take the pictures that you see when you see them, and I hope you get some amazing pictures. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye now.